Oops.
Welcome to the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast. You can find us at www.liftheavyrunlong.com, on Twitter and Instagram at liftrunlong. Also, feel free to email me directly at the address wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. If you're not a member of our Facebook group, you should be, because we want you to be there. Search for Lift Heavy Run Long Community and request to join right now. My name is Wilson Horrell. I am one of your hosts. I would like to remind you that the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast is not censored, so listen at your own risk. Lift Heavy Run Long has an app. We want you to be on it. To be on that app, you can go to www.liftheavyrunlong.com, click the sign up now, and you can be subscribed to the LHRL Daily app for absolutely free. And what you will get with that is 3 body weight exercises every week, 4 barbell strength exercises, and 4 daily WODs. If you're interested in more distance specific programming, you can have access to all of the programs that Lift Heavy Run Long has to offer for $19.99 per month. And you can click on the sign up now link and you have the option to do that when you do the free program.
Hey, can you turn me down a little bit? You're blowing my eardrums out.
I can.
Thank you.
Is that better?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. I think it's at the level where earlier you said you couldn't hear anything.
I can hear you.
We should be all... Is anybody listening, Facebook world?
It looks like they are, but no one has said anything about it sounding low or high.
Well, they need to say what it's sounding like. Is it sounding good?
It's a streak.
Swanson, say something.
Hey, so glad to see y'all. Hey, Katie.
Say something again. God dang it. I don't have you recording.
You're still a little loud, Wilson.
Melissa says they can hear us. They can hear us.
Melissa,
perfectly.
I miss your face.
Did you make a guess of how many M&Ms were in the jar yet?
I brought the jar. I'm sure everybody wanted to hear me swallow that water. That was great. I brought the jar of M&Ms.
Do you want to give a hint? Is it over?
Y'all keep talking.
Is it over or under 1,000?
It is under.
It's under 1,000, because I was thinking like 1,000.
Yeah.
I was going to guess 1,337 or something like that.
And I didn't do it like all the way because I didn't want somebody to like fill up a jar and then level it off. So.
Oh, you thought about that, huh?
Yeah, because
You
that's
thought
what I would
some
do.
dude would go out there and get his own mason jar and fill it up and count exactly how many, just so he could get a jar of
LHRL M&Ms. I wore gloves. I have witnesses. I wore gloves because I was like, oh, I want somebody to handle my M&Ms. So, yeah.
Huh. Well,
Yeah, I sat there and counted all of them.
Y'all are going to have to continue on without me because I got to get... Thirsty doesn't have anything coming through his goddamn headset. Probably.
Can Facebook hear Brian?
I think Facebook will be
Man,
able to.
we are... Next week, we're going to come in here and there's going to be a brand new studio built. And he will have hired a professional engineer to hook everything up. Well,
Yeah, those things are expensive.
we sort of have one.
Yeah, Vaughn ripped that off. Oh.
Man. All right. Who? I don't think anyone can hear Brian Swanson. Can anyone hear Brian Swanson? He's been talking this whole time. He won't shut up. But I don't think anyone can hear him. Hey, Janice Ferguson is watching.
Oh,
Vaughn Ross is on a 4 or 5 day streak now.
I'm on a 4-day running streak. 4 miles.
Congratulations.
4 miles a day. I'm doing this thing where I run for 4 minutes and walk for 2, and I love it. Like I don't know. I can't even explain it to you. Like, it's so much fun. I feel like I could run for all day long. Like
Check, 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 check.
1, 2, check.
Do that again, Swanson.
Check, check, check.
Thump it.
Steve Wilkes says he can
what she
hear.
There we go.
Steve Wilkes says he can hear Brian, and
Check,
also
check, check,
Mark
check.
Fortune is watching.
what? Long lost
Okay.
Mark
That's
Fortune.
crazy talk.
Crisis averted.
Hasn't been, though.
And now back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Y'all know I don't do well when things are not regularly like going as a flow.
I know.
This has been a lot.
That's-
I was
Steve says
thinking
now
on the
he doesn't
drive
hear me.
here that you've probably been stressing about last week, this whole week,
A little bit.
and like plugging things in
Yep.
and pulling things out. And
Well, I came in here about 30 or 40 minutes early
Melissa says
to get
she's
us all
gotta-
hooked up.
Melissa says she's got a new chin to introduce us to.
Oh, man.
Makewad's great again. I shared his post today. It was pretty funny. It showed like Homer and I think the guy off, the dad off of, Stewie and all that. I can't think of it. Like walking into
Family Guy?
yeah, Family Guy walking to the gym with like a T-shirt tied up around their boobs and their belly hanging out.
Janice says, "Are you doing the GVRAT?" I think that's the Great
Virtual race across
Virtual
Tennessee.
Race Across Tennessee.
Man, I really wanted to do. I would love to be. If I wouldn't have had this
Oh, we
knee
had
surgery,
so
I swear to God, I really wanted to do it.
Right.
I think it would have been fun. Not to necessarily make it across Tennessee,
Wilson,
but just
you
to
and
be
I
able
would
to
be
see.
done already if we were allowed. to
Yeah,
run.
yeah, yeah.
That's how much we'd be running.
Yeah. So you're all fortunate. Consider yourself fortunate
Yeah,
that I'm
I mean,
stuck in
so
this
we're gonna let
brace
somebody else win
next
as a
year.
result.
There are a lot
Jack
of
and
people.
Tan did 5 miles today.
yeah, I did. Yep. I'm actually going to train for the St. Jude Marathon this year. It starts up in June. So I'm
Nice.
trying to get a head start so it's not so rough.
Wilson, we're a little off kilter. Do you want to do introductions, or should we just go into it?
To my right, I have the amazing Dr. Amanda Kimsey, jacked and tan. How are you?
I am doing well. I don't think I'm either jacked or tan at this moment right now.
That's okay. We're going to
You
hold
are
on to the
tannest
names.
person in the
You got
room
it.
Still,
We are what we are, and we're going to continue what we're being.
and my gosh, we're good
And
enough.
doggone it, people like
Yep. I need to get a mirror installed in here and talk to it more often. The Reverend Vaughn
Hi.
Ross.
Hello.
How are you?
Hey, Vaughn.
I am fantastic.
You have a wonderful shirt. You have outstanding shoes. You're
Those
dressed
shoes. Can
so
we talk
nice.
about those shoes?
Yeah, you want to?
How does that
Seriously.
happen? Where does your ensemble come from? Because you dress really well for a guy that, no offense, I wouldn't think would dress all that well.
Doesn't Holly help dress you?
Yeah, absolutely.
See.
Okay.
We went. I got a new job.
Congratulations.
That I'll start in a couple of weeks here. And we went to Johnston and Murphy and bought a whole bunch of brand new work clothes.
He needed
And-
some new pimp gear because he's got to upgrade his game.
Right.
Well, your game has gone sky high because in your new job is senior, for one, which is a good term.
That's just
You're
because he's
a-
old.
you're a
That's
si-
not because he's good.
I'm almost 45.
Thirsty
years
is
old.
still here. Now, what is your title?
Senior analyst in business development.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Congratulations
That's
on,
a
on
fancy
getting
title.
that.
I'm excited about it.
And I think you can be old and still not get that title, correct?
Yes.
Probably. There are lots
But
of
it's
old
not
people.
as funny if you tell it that way.
Right.
That's Big Thirsty on the other end of the camera, being as sweet as he always
Dream
is.
crusher.
How are you?
As good as I can be.
Good. That's what I like to hear. Thank y'all for letting me get the introductions out of the way.
He's kindly social distancing himself again this week.
Yeah.
So thank
I
you.
miss y'all. Virtual hugs.
Yep.
Any new developments on COVID and how you're feeling about that?
People are still stupid. I love all my coworkers, but they're testing every last nerve of mine.
I am the guy in charge of managing our return to the office and social distancing and all the things. So my patience is being tested.
How are you handling that? Is there a plan to bring people at a certain amount of time?
Yeah, you phasing in.
Like, okay.
So we're a pretty small office. On a good day, there's 25 of us in the office. So based on just the way our desks are laid out, I can do half the office in one day and then half the office in the next day, and everybody's at least 6 feet apart.
Oh.
So, but then you got the people that are like, no, I want to be here when so-and-so is here.
Oh, yeah. Well, you want to work with your buddies? I mean, I don't know. That's
Are you a dick at work?
kind of important.
I get paid to be a dick at work.
Yeah. That was my question. I wondered if you felt that way.
It's funny. When I first talked to the boss many moons ago about making a change in the organization, I didn't know where I would end up, but he said, I've got the perfect job for you, and you might just be enough of an asshole to do it.
That's perfect.
He's terrible at being the bad guy, so I don't like being the bad guy, and I don't always have to be the bad guy, but I'm willing to be the bad guy if I got to be the bad guy so that the boss doesn't have to have that stress on him. So
I hear you.
So yeah, I do it well.
You want to hear some good news?
Absolutely.
We have a review.
No way.
We do,
A
indeed.
review?
That's actually better than
we have a
than
review.
Vaughn got a new job.
After all this time.
After all this time, we have a review. It's been a while. It's been sitting here for a while. I've been having to sit on it, which has been nice to have a review to sit on for the last 8 months, 8 weeks, however long it's been.
All right.
8 years.
Kate. It's from Katie Did. I've never left a review for anything on the internet, but I just had to this time. I found LHRL because I'm a long-time lifter and short-time runner. I was looking for some source that would help me balance the two, since most people tend to tell you that you have to do one or the other. I found the LHRL Facebook page, and it felt like it was exactly what I was looking for. Then I realized that these people had a podcast, and I was hooked. I love this podcast, and I love listening on my runs. I laugh out loud multiple times per episode, and I'm sure I look like a crazy person on the trails, but I don't even care. Wilson, Amanda, Vaughn, and Brian feel like my own private running group once a week. Thanks for continuing to do this, to do what you do, guys. I also feel like I have to qualify that I don't know these folks outside of this podcast, but I feel like I do.
Well, there you go.
How friggin' awesome is that?
That is fantastically awesome.
Are you going to turn off the air conditioner? You are so kind. Thank you for doing that, because you know it was driving me insane. One more thing to drive me insane from a technological level. I watched Westworld.
Oh, no way.
You like done?
No, it's scary. Shit. I turned it on. I asked you if it was scary, and you said it was not scary.
I don't think
Okay.
it's scary.
In the opening, it shows a guy
you
with
think-
half his face, and the
Did
other
you-
half's a skull.
Did you think Bambi was scary?
This is scary stuff, man. It's
scared?
rated R at least.
Did
No,
you-
it's rated R
definitely,
'cause
the
of
first
nudity.
season is definitely PVMA, but did you watch an episode? At least?
Yeah, I watched like
How
3
far
of
in
them.
are you?
Okay.
Like
3
3
episodes?
episodes. It was too creepy.
I don't think it gets any worse. I'm trying to think. Do you think it gets worse?
I don't think so. There are some parts.
There definitely some like a lot of people are going to die type scenes, but I don't
Hey,
think
guess
it's
what?
gross.
Everybody gets to come back to life.
Yeah, exactly.
Start the day over again.
I don't
So-
like it. You don't know who's real and who's not real, and too many
That's the whole
naked,
point.
gelatinous people.
There are a lot of naked people.
What
Yeah.
in the world?
It's
But
bad, Amanda. You
well,
wouldn't
they're
like it.
robots.
You wouldn't approve of me watching it.
You can.
They're robots, so you're
Naked robots.
You know, I wanted to get into that Greg Daniels show, Upload, so bad,
Yeah.
and we watched a few episodes of it, and I just can't get into it.
I still haven't
Really?
started it
Yeah,
yet.
walked
We
away
enjoyed
from
it. We enjoyed it.
Well, we've seen I've seen 3 or 4 of them, and just gave up.
I tried to hang in there a little bit longer, and I got about 2 more episodes in, and was enjoying it less than I was when you were in the room not enjoying
Yeah,
it.
the story definitely kind of fizzled out quickly, but I don't know.
I mean, it's an interesting thought. It's almost like Black Mirror, because I feel like we're just one step away from something
Sure.
like that. So
I would enjoy smoking weed and watching that if I still smoke weed. It would be something. It's an interesting concept and something to think about.
There's a chance I've been drinking many of the times that I was watching that show. So
That helps make things that aren't interesting more interesting.
maybe.
Yeah, there's
I
a
would agree
trick
with
to
that.
that.
Can we go back to Vaughn's new job real quick?
Let's do that, please.
Because I want to say, like, it's awesome. Like, Vaughn, in the last 6 months, maybe a little bit longer, has completely stepped out of his shell and fought his introvert ways. And I think this job is a direct result, not only of that, but of your skill and the rest of the world not seeing how skilled you are. So I just, seriously, I'm
Well, thank you.
stupid happy for
That
you.
really means a lot, and you just like are spot on about it. I mean, that is exactly the truth.
You forced yourself. It's so funny. So 2019 Give Camp, Vaughn shows up. He has an awesome time, but I don't want to say I'm hand-holding him, but I'm like walking him around. I'm like, hey, I need you to talk to these people. Let me introduce you real quick. And I sit him down at a table with the team. And then once he's there and he's fine. And he does the awesome, skillful stuff that he's really good at. But it's the whole interacting with the team initially that he wasn't great at. This 2020 Give Camp, the first time I grabbed him, I was like, hey, I need you to come talk to a team real quick and see if you can help them. And he's like, okay. And as we're walking to that team, I get pulled away, and I was like, hold on, let me go introduce Vaughn. Vaughn looks at me and says, I got this. It's that team right there. And he goes over and he sits down with them and kicks ass and takes names.
Well, I watched him perform at the Give Camp this year, and, nobody thinks of themselves the way that other people think of themselves. Of course, everybody has a different opinion, but people don't get, and I'm not being sarcastic here, legends don't become legends because of the things that they do. They become legends because the perception that other people have of them that they spread to other people. And
Sure.
so when I was at Give Camp and I saw Vaughn, and I told Amanda this, like, you were the guy, like you were in your element, and you were so much the guy that it was almost like the mysterious guy that would be maybe almost even unapproachable, but not in an arrogant fashion, because you were part of so many groups because you had the information.
Yeah, how would you have felt talking to him if you hadn't known him before the weekend?
I would not have.
Yeah.
Because I was just happy to find like a little spot in the corner. And so I'm watching Vaughn as if I don't know Vaughn. I'm consciously doing that. So when Vaughn says that this guy reached out to him based on what he saw at Give Camp, it was no shocker to me at all. And I knew that, like, of all the people at Give Camp, of course he's going to offer Vaughn the job. And Vaughn's more like, why is he even? I can't wait to disappoint this guy on some level. I'm like, and I'm telling
That's
him, like,
not
there's nothing
that's not
else to
entirely
discuss.
inaccurate.
Like, CEOs of business don't reach out to you and say, I need you on my team.
Yeah,
and just spam people all day.
It wasn't a question of like, hey, I've got a job opening, you should submit your resume. It's like, what do I got to do to get you on my team?
Yeah, it was awesome.
And that's a place you've deserved to be for a long time, but you just didn't find the right guy that
That's
knew
true.
that about you. So
That is true.
And Vaughn was consistently like, man, this is awesome, but I can't wait to drop this ball. Like, this is gonna be great disappointing
You're
this
not
guy.
supposed to divulge private beefcake boot camp.
Am I not? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cross any lines.
anyways, so seriously, like it's awesome for you to finally be recognized for the skill that you do have. And I love that you stepped out of your comfort zone in the last 6+ months, and it's been noticed.
Well, it sure does feel good. I can tell you that. So,
Can we talk about Sean Rumbum?
Yeah, let's talk about that
Did
guy.
we talk about him last week, or did we just talk about him before we got on the camera?
I don't
Before everything went to hell last
know
week.
that we talked about him last week.
We did talk about him at some point. Well, I just don't know if the camera was on or not at the point we talked about him.
Sean Runbum Blanton is the host of the Trail and Ultra podcast.
I don't know. I don't know what his status is.
If I'm not mistaken, which I usually am and probably am, and anybody in the comments, by the way, the comments on Facebook are my favorite thing of the whole podcast. So last week when I botched the podcast, it was horrible. So please, I love the people that comment multiple times randomly, and I enjoy going back and looking at it and trying to figure out what they were referring to with that comment.
Right.
So by all means, please, if you're a spam commenter, or a serial commenter, continue to serial comment. But I think that this guy is the trail and ultra running group,
Okay.
or at least the trail and ultra running podcast. I think he's the host of that.
I definitely
He's not an insignificant person.
And he owns the Run Bum Tours. So he's a race director, and obviously a successful race
some
director.
pretty big races. I
Yeah.
think, too.
does.
And according to the messages, the correspondence that I've seen between him and other women and just people in general, he thinks a great deal about himself and his ability to do most everything. And there were he removed some people. He gave some people DNFs that maybe shouldn't have received DNFs because of the way they talked to him.
And well, there were people that he didn't like, that he didn't get along with, or would not go out with him, or something like that.
Right.
That he just disappeared their race results from his races.
And then when he was confronted about it, he said, "Okay, I'll fix it." So instead of DNFing them, he DQ'd them. Like,
So what we need to do is get Jack and Tan to say he's the best she's ever had, and see if she gets first place in a race on Ultra Sign Up.
Well,
or just have her run one of his races and see what happens if he DNFs her when she finishes
Maybe
the
we
race.
did
It'll be
talk-
the last time he randomly DNFs somebody.
That's true.
I'm not getting a DNF. Yeah, that motherfucker's going down.
maybe we did talk. I don't know if we did, but there was one girl. The story that I was like, "Oh, that's wild." Was he's like texting this lady, and I forget how they got hooked up, but like,
Oh, they ran Pikes Peak.
they ran a race together or something, and he's like texting her, and like she's like gonna be in this race. He's like, "I'm gonna be in that race too. Let's meet up." And she's like, "Nah, this is like a really important race for me. I've been training hard for it. I'm gonna just stay in the night before, and then go run the race." And he was like, "Oh, whatever. You're a 6." Like, I guess that's an insult or whatever, but they start the race, and like she's like running her race, and he like runs by her and like smacks her on the ass like real hard, and she said it like really bothered her, like it threw her off.
Yeah, that would
Her
definitely
game.
mess up your mental game.
And she said something back to him like, "You shouldn't have done that," or something like that. And he goes, "That's exactly what a 6 would say."
It's a very 6 thing to say.
I don't know what's wrong with people.
And so there's a lot of correspondence that's, apparently legit, real correspondence that's pretty crappy, pretty arrogant, pretty whatever it is. But then there's also some things that are more, that could be seen if you're on the other side of it, that could be a lot more joking depending on how well you knew somebody, which I think that's why it's important to not do those things as like a race director. Like they have in one of their race emails, the people that get in are the people that Sean or so-and-so has slept with, or that have finished these kinds of races. So it's like a quote unquote funny thing to say, but maybe say that at the bar with, for your friends, as opposed to like putting it out in an email blast.
Right.
Probably not.
There are.
Well, when
There
the truth
is
comes
a-
out later, then they could say, "We've been saying in our emails."
There is a very small number of people that I would smack on the ass really hard.
Who?
Well, I don't know. These two guys, maybe. My kids, and I don't know. Like just jokingly smack someone on
from
the ass.
a-
Like I wouldn't. Why would you do that? Like I wouldn't think. I would never think to do that to someone.
I think close friends of mine, people that I have had beers with, have vacationed with, have run a zillion miles with, I would be comfortable doing that.
You would be what?
Comfortable
Right.
doing
but
that?
You wouldn't do that to Amanda.
Well, I mean, we're friends.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know.
we
I would-
run a zillion miles.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think
I
she'd be
wouldn't do-
insulted
I
by it.
don't know.
Like,
I don't know
If
if
I
you
came
would or
up-
not, but I wouldn't. It would never happen.
it's not my personality to normally do that, but there's a few people who are just normally sassy is the way I'm going to say it. And those are the kind of people that I would do that to. Like Dawn and I have that kind of relationship. Like if I was going by her in a race, I would totally smack her on the butt.
I don't know. It's a very, very small number.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I think but I also think she would do it back to me. If she,
it wouldn't get taken the wrong way.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
he didn't know her very well.
Yeah,
She didn't know him very well.
Exactly.
She's in her zone, and he comes by and hits her hard. I think that's a huge difference. Also, that's just something you don't do to a stranger that you've chatted with online.
I agree. It depends on the context. It depends on how well you know someone. There's all sorts of situations where there's no situation where I would smack another female in the ass, but that's because I'm a natural born creeper. Like I have the look. I am constantly aware that, I belong on like the back of a milk carton or some kind of, I know what my picture would look like on one of those. Like,
beware of this
he
man.
seemed like a good guy. And then they show my picture and they're like, oh, he did it for sure. So I'm always worried about being a creeper or saying the wrong thing or coming off as a perv. So I would not do that. I would smack 100% of my guy friends' asses. Just because
I was
that's
kind
what
of thinking the same thing.
100%. I don't need to know a guy to come up and just, if they do a good job wherever they are.
That's a football
people that
thing.
put their
That's a
when they
football
put their
thing.
shopping carts back. I'll jump out of the car sometimes, smack them on the head. That's the way to be.
Good job. Way
That's
to
the way to go, team.
take the carts back.
Yep. I see you got on a tangent about that. Not a tangent, but you mentioned it in a tweet about people putting their shopping carts back. That's important stuff.
It is. And they say like you're like on some sort of other level if you actually put the shopping cart back instead of leaving it by your car or whatever. And
the level that you're on is a decent level. If you put your shopping cart back, you're a decent person.
And I'm stealing this from like internet memes or whatever that I've seen it on, but like putting your shopping cart back, being respectful to a waiter or waitress, and there's like a few other things that like being kind to somebody who can't return the favor to you says so much about your personality and
right.
how you are as a person.
I agree with that. But I think the whole point of the shopping cart thing is you walk your shopping cart back to the corral. And then I caught myself yesterday, a couple of days ago, parking right next to the cart corral. And I'm like, oh, well, that's how I roll. I just park at the spot right next to the corral.
But
so
it's
that
still
when
important to you that it goes back. You're just being efficient about your
Yeah, I mean,
of the
being
cart.
lazy and respectful is a big difference than just being an asshole.
Okay.
So I'll take that all day long. If you want to park by the shopping cart thing and, to push your shopping cart, the way that I avoid it altogether is I do click list. So that way I don't have to push shopping carts and I don't have to do anything.
We did our first click list
It's amazing.
last week.
I love it.
I don't know. I mean,
What?
it was okay. I waited in the parking spot for 45 minutes. Like they said,
Bring your computer.
They said get there between noon and 1. We got there at 12:45 and waited until 1:30
Oh man.
before we got
Wow.
And
our
at
stuff.
what point did you order it? Just out of curiosity.
Earlier in the day, they said, "Hey, come by here." And
I've never done it, so I don't know how long you're supposed to wait. Or
no,
they can
sa-
screw you over pretty good.
they say-
they can get behind.
come here to pick up your order between noon and 1. And I got there at 12:45 because I thought, well, of course, it's not going to be ready till 1.
it's so funny.
I've never done the same day thing, so I always give them like 2 or 3 days.
That's probably the better
too
idea,
much
huh?
time. You talking about having to wait just reminds me, with all the COVID stuff, I've been ordering a lot of pizzas for delivery. Whatever Pizza Hut branch delivers to our house in Germantown is terrible. They are terrible. Like, I get the email and it's like, oh, your pizza will be there in 35 minutes. An hour and a half later, my pizza shows up. Now, I can drive 5 miles away. It's not even 5 miles to my office, and it's a different Pizza Hut branch, and that thing is there 10 minutes early.
Man, I'm so disappointed to hear that because that's where I used to get my pizzas from growing up.
And it's fun. Like, I love Pizza Hut. And I don't know why I love Pizza Hut, but I love Pizza Hut. And
Yeah.
Pizza
Yeah, I grew
Hut's
up with
where I
Pizza
generally
Hut,
order
yeah.
from. And And I continue to order from them despite the fact that they disappoint me. And I've even tried like increasing my tip. Like, I'll just increase the tip to see if that helps the situation. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
They're gonna
That makes
just
me
be
so
terrible.
sad.
We usually go pick everything up like that.
We
don't
can't
have
order
delivery.
pizza.
Unless we put Olive Branch as our address instead of Bahalia, which we do sometimes.
Is that
And then they come out here.
Yeah.
who's come out here and ordered and brought pizza?
Domino's. I used to put Olive Branch in there
That's-
instead of Bahalia.
I've never seen Olive Branch deliver a pizza out here. So you've done it when I have not been here.
When
Now, the gas station brought it out here because we paid them $20 after we tipped them $20 after we did the 50-hour race.
That was Domino's.
No,
Yes, it was.
it was not.
Yes, it was.
It was not. I'm not going to argue about you when I'm right.
I think you got to hook up at Domino's. You could find somebody that would deliver Domino's out here for you.
Yes.
On the right night.
Yep. But we've also called Domino's and said we will give you, $20.
Dodge's
to come out
Pizza
here.
did it. It was Dodge's after
Okay.
the 24-hour race Tour de Spirit.
So
I got the ranch pizza.
38002 is Arlington's zip code. When Carol and I lived in Bartlett, we were in Bartlett city limits, but we had a 38002 zip code. And it was amazing how many times I gave some delivery company like our address and gave them the zip code, and they're like, "Oh, we didn't deliver to Arlington." That's a good thing because I'm not in Arlington. Oh, well, you've got an Arlington zip code. We can't deliver there. Like, I know where you're at, and you're less than 5 miles from my house. Sorry, sir, we can't deliver.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to be kidding me.
Yep. We're in DeSoto County, but we're in the city of Byhalia.
Right.
And by the city of Byhalia, you can throw a rock to
Marshall County.
Marshall County.
Right.
And because we're in Byhalia, they'll give us the axe, but they'll deliver, 300 yards down the street to Bob's house. So I guess probably we should just talk to
you
Bob.
are literally
Hey,
you
Bob.
are literally on the county line.
Yeah.
That's true. We need to just tell Bob we're going to have a pizza delivered. We're going to sit on his front porch.
Hey, Bob, you mind if I use your address and have a pizza delivered?
It's
over there?
contactless delivery. Just leave it on the porch. Wilson will be over in a minute.
Something tells me there'd be a Bob tax.
yeah, there'd be Bob sitting there eating our pizza.
I don't like to order pizzas to guys' houses. They're like 6'7", 260.
You could probably take down your pizza.
Not yeah,
Bob,
and there would
Bob,
not
I'm ordering
be.
2 pizzas. Leave one for me.
That's right. That's right.
I'll
And if
order
there's no
you an
pizza when
extra
I get
pizza.
there will be no repercussions at all. Unfortunately for me.
And that's also when he says, "Oh, and by the way, I left him a really good tip for you on your card."
So, I haven't lifted any weights at all since all of this happened. I haven't wanted to, but your muscle just goes away so fast, man. And I'm already so overweight as it is, and it's just become so soft and flabby. Like in a matter of 2 months, it just all goes to hell. And so probably 2 months ago, I was taking a step off the back porch. I was opened the back door, took a step, and like my boob flopped against my armpit.
Oh.
And it made it audible, like,
Oh.
and at first I thought, what was that? Like, that was something, but maybe it's a
Did
bad
you go back
stare.
and try to recreate
Well,
it?
like 2 weeks later, 10 days, 2 weeks later, the same thing happened. And I was like, oh man, it's like finding the squeak in the door. I was like, oh no, that's my boob armpit flop.
Oh.
Well, since then,
You just sprayed some WD-40
it's
on it?
maybe that's the solution I'm looking for. But now it's just a regular occurrence. I just flop. I just flop and pop.
Well,
You know what the good fix for that is?
Sports bra.
Albrecht CrossFit's open again.
that's true.
Yeah, I'm not. I
Or
don't,
sports bra.
I don't
He
want
has a
to,
thing like screwed into his leg.
That should make him be able to lift that much more.
I don't feel like it.
a
I
He
bionic
can
just
carry
wanna
one of
run.
those folding chairs over to where he normally does his work anyway, and he can just stay seated and do some overhead.
I could. Yeah, but I don't want to.
Okay.
But I'm not going to say that I want to and then not do it.
Yeah.
How has the gym being reopened been?
I mean, it's
Is it a ghost town still?
there's not a lot of people. I mean, I had like 4 people on Saturday, 2 people at 5 a.m. today, and 2 people at 6 a.m.
Did y'all during the 8 weeks out like scrub it down?
Yeah.
Make it all nice and shiny.
Yep. Yep. Had somebody clean. You're supposed to have somebody clean every day. So it should be thoroughly wiped down on the regular.
Is that realistic? I mean, who would you have do that?
I don't know who we ended up having do it, but there was a couple of members who said they had companies that would do that sort of thing. So there you go.
Do you have to employ someone to do it? I mean, can you not do it as a...
I don't know the answer to that. They didn't say. It's really vague. Right?
It's all just guidelines.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I had an M&M.
Let's talk about those M&Ms.
What, these M&Ms right here?
Oh,
Yeah.
you have M&Ms.
Oh.
Wow, what a coincidence.
Like the girls only do their beauty things, so you can see it.
Nice.
This is a jar of M&Ms. Lift Heavy Run Long M&Ms.
They have the Lift Heavy Run
What
Long
is significant
logo
about
on
that
them.
jar?
Well, for a $10 donation to my St. Jude fundraiser page, you can have a guess how many is in here. So for every $10, if you give me $50, you get 5 guesses. And you have to do it by this coming Sunday.
And if you get it,
And
if
if you
you are
get
the most accurate,
most accurate without going over, I will either deliver it to you or mail it to you.
How does one go about making a guess?
They can go to heroes.stjude.org/Amanda Horrell
Oh, okay.
and donate money.
And then just direct message you with
Yep.
a guess.
They just IM the guess that they want to give.
And that's about all that's left. At the rate that you've been going through those M&Ms, there may be about half that in the jar by the time the deal's up. Because that's about all that's left from the 2 bags that you
Have
got.
you been
no,
eating?
there's a whole bag sitting right there.
Oh, okay. There's that one.
Have you been eating the M&Ms?
Very
haven't
slowly.
snacked on
They've
them.
just been...
Not since I got back on my nutrition, though.
Okay.
Wilson,
Well,
who's really been eating?
I don't eat a lot of M&Ms.
Okay.
did you find a few of them inside the peanut butter jar?
I haven't been eating peanut butter.
Y'all, I've hidden a peanut
Dude.
butter jar
Are you okay?
in the house, outside of the kitchen for myself.
Well, I have like 8. I mean, I just
I
bought
know.
like 6 jars,
I know.
literally like 6 jars of peanut
There's one
butter.
in the glove box of his car.
But I get these bumps on my head.
So you've actually tried it out. Does it work?
I haven't eaten peanut butter for since the last. When I talked to you, I hadn't eaten peanut butter for 2 weeks, and then when I told you I ate peanut butter because it wasn't working, you're like, "You're an idiot. That's got to do it a lot longer than that." And so then it's probably been 6 weeks since then.
And? Did it clear up?
No, not really. Kind of, but not
He
really.
wants to
Or
tell
you
you no.
think you had a rash, or what are you saying?
If I eat sugar, if I eat processed foods, if I eat peanut butter, there's something that
Like
makes
zits?
it's like zits that I
I
get on
wonder-
my scalp and the back of my
I
neck.
realize it's not as good. It's not going to satisfy you in the same way, but have you considered trying to make your own peanut butter?
I don't even know if that I didn't even know that's possible. How does one make their own peanut butter? Like grow my own peanuts?
Get a ninja.
No. You buy the peanuts, and then it's a
Toss it
matter
in our
of
Ninja.
like blending
Yeah.
them, and
Or go to Whole
you
Foods.
probably had to put some water in there or something.
yeah, I mean, and you can add as much sugar as you want to, and you can do natural sugar as opposed to the processed sugar.
If
you
I add
need
as
your-
much sugar as I want to, it's going to be worse than
just saying,
no. I have not even thought about that. That's a terrible idea.
I think it is, but I feel
I think
like
just having zits on my head should be just fine. It's fine. I need to go back to eating peanut butter.
As long as nobody can see them, I think it's okay.
But you
I can see them.
Well,
Yeah.
grow your hair a little longer.
Is that what I need
It's
to
too
do?
thin.
Yeah.
You can see through it.
Yeah.
And then you can eat all the peanut butter you want.
She'll find something wrong anyway. She's so supportive.
She'll be in there like a monkey, like picking through your hair.
Yeah.
Oh, I see
She'll go
another
fi-
one.
She'll find the zit. That's the metaphor. She'll find it. I saw a picture of is it Valdamoor? Who's the guy that can't be talked about?
He who must not be named.
That guy.
Lord Baltimore.
That dude's hot. I saw the actor. He's a
Outside of
hot-
costume?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Who would have thought? Are you a Harry Potter guy? Do you know who Voldemort is? Is it V or B?
V. Victor. Voldemort.
Do you know who Voldemort is?
Voldemort.
I can picture
Voldemort.
the character's face, and I know who the actor is. I just can't picture him not in that costume.
He's a really attractive man. And he's not on the
Did
camera.
he give you manwood?
But they manwood. I've never heard that. Probably.
Yeah, okay.
That's like the.
He's a half-blood.
Did y'all see
No, he's a pure blood.
It says half.
Oh yeah, he is half blood
The
because his
half-blooded prince.
dad was not. Yeah, he was a Muggle.
who's the
I
half-blooded
wanted to
prince?
see who the actor was.
Snape.
Ralph Fiennes. Fing.
Snape's the half blood prince.
Did y'all see Gary Owens' T-shirt?
Yeah, okay.
The T-shirt with Gary Owens' face on it,
Sure.
or the shirt that Gary Owens
Was wearing.
the T-shirt that Gary Owens wore.
The T-shirt that had Gary Owens' face on it that he may or may not have been wearing.
Did he
I did
make
not
it?
see one that he was wearing. I saw one that
Somebody else was
Holly
wearing.
went for a run so that GFO could be on the run with him.
What a fantastic shirt!
Because it reminded me of completely blanking.
Guy drinking
Yeah.
beer, having sunglasses.
It reminded me of an actor when I saw the picture on the shirt. It
The Big
reminded me of an
Lebowski?
actor.
No, he looked so cool. He looked like something out of a Tarantino film.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm going with it. I just can't.
Like
think of
what's
who
the
I'm
name
trying
of
to think
Pulp
of.
Fiction? Like the
Travolta or
yeah,
somebody like
I mean,
that.
he just
yeah.
looks so baller. But
Yeah.
I mean, GFO is baller as hell.
Yeah.
That's why I want that shirt. I really wish there was one in black. But how obnoxious is that to see a shirt that somebody had made to raise money for something else than be like, I'd rather have it in black, but I'm going to buy one in white. And then if I can find one in black, I'll pay for that.
Who's
too.
raising money for what? With that?
When we thought that Gary Owens was going to die from corona, they raised money. They were going to raise money for him.
Was that
And
really
then they
a thing?
found out he wasn't going to die, and they
Well, I didn't know that was a thing.
they're
I
like,
didn't
we'll
know
just
there
keep
was
the
a
T-shirts. So I'll
Ralph-
pay whatever for those.
Ralph Fiennes is Voldemort.
Yes.
That's what I
Ralph
just
Fiennes,
said.
he's good looking, isn't he?
I just
He is a
said that
good-looking
like
guy.
3-4 minutes ago.
Do you have a hard time saying that he's a good looking man?
I don't.
Vaughn, do you have a hard time saying that men are good looking men?
I do not.
Me neither.
I think every guy has a guy crush and a girl has a girl crush. Of
Yeah,
who they
but there's a
think's
lot of
really
guys that would
pretty.
never admit it as Wilson's point.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think that's your point, right? Is that like
Yeah.
a lot of guys wouldn't,
Right.
Because they, at the point that I say like, oh, Vaughn's a good-looking guy.
Ooh.
What are you into him or something? Like there's got to be like an immediate homophobe reaction to it.
Yeah.
I think it's weird that you pronounce it Fines and it's spelled Fennes.
It was just spelled on here Fiennes, which is why I
Do you
said-
know you're spelling it right? Or
I
pronouncing
don't.
it right?
Steve Wilk put it on here, and he is my Google right now. So
No, but
F-I-E-N-N-E-S.
pronunciation wise, you know you're pronouncing it.
No, I have no idea.
Fiennes. I would say Fiennes. Fiennes. Fiennes.
who was it?
Did I tell you I did a 10-day juice fast? I was thinking about the zits on my head.
How'd that go for you?
That's random.
The zits on my head went away.
By doing the juice fast.
Yeah. And so that's how I know. That's one of the
But they
many
came
ways.
back when you ate the peanut butter.
Yeah.
And so they're still there now because you ate peanut butter.
I don't know if it's peanut butter or
Yeah, it could be any
burritos
number of
or
the-
whatever.
At the point he went off the juice fast, he went like complete like deep dive into the processed foods.
Deep
So
fried
it's really hard to.
Yeah.
McDonald's cheeseburgers.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing as like doing the Whole30 and slowly introducing food back into your diet, which never happens.
You just do all the foods.
Yeah.
simultaneously.
You make it and you're like, "Ooh, I made it." And then you're done.
Well,
Well, being gluten free kind of sucks, but it has helped me
I talked
health
to
wise.
a friend of mine, and I think they're going to the same doctor you are, a functional medicine doctor out in Eads.
Yep, that's it.
And
can't be
she's
that
having
many.
she's having
He who
amazing
must not be
results as
named.
well.
Yeah. Yep, I go back to see him to get all my lab levels reviewed Friday. So I think my thyroid med needs to go up a little bit. I'm getting really insomniac again. Is that a word? I have insomnia again.
Insomnomaniac.
I'm
getting,
about 4 days into taking thyroid medicine.
Insomnomaniacal is what it's
my
called.
insomnia is flaring up.
The legal
But
term
you're
is
doing
insomnomaniacal.
probably methimazole, right? Because you were
I am on Synthroid.
Oh, okay.
I have hypothyroid.
Oh, I thought you had hyper. Okay. I'm hypo also. And
I'm hypo as well.
after I started taking the Synthroid, then or levothyroxine, I started sleeping really well again. And then about 2 months ago, I've just gotten really bad insomnia again. So I think maybe, after about 6 months, you kind of level off on your thyroid meds. So I think I need to go up to the 88 mics or maybe the one.
Yeah, I'm supposed to go in like a month for them to retest my numbers and all that kind of stuff. So.
Yep.
When the doctor prescribes you things, do you always correct them and be like, that's probably not a good idea? Probably should be.
Well, no, I just try to keep my mouth shut and not be an asshole. And then it's really funny when the nurses or whoever try to explain to you what it's for or whatever. And you're just like, okay.
Oh, I would have never known that.
So, when Wilson got his knee surgery and she was explaining to me what Lortab was and don't take any extra Tylenol with it. And, this is and the pharmacist where I got his stuff filled and they gave him
Well, she took one look at Wilson and realized that she needed to give out those instructions. Right?
Amanda doesn't know how to prescribe pain pills either.
I loved that blog post, by the way. I really did. I mean,
Thank you so much.
I get it. And it's awesome that you got somebody like Amanda at your back. So
Yeah, I enjoyed writing it. I got a lot of good responses from it. It was fun. I liked it. Amanda was like, "That was dark." Okay, I don't think anybody really. Most people didn't see it as dark.
Well, I asked him, like, you okay? Are you falling into like a really deep depression? He's like, no. I'm like, okay. Making sure.
No, you didn't. You weren't that compassionate. You're like, blog post was dark.
No, I asked you if you're okay first, if you were getting depressed.
You should probably take that down.
It was okay. That's a terrible thing, man. That's a terrible thing, having pain pills when you're just barely putting that little bit of pain pill in your system, and all I could think about was my next dose, man. Like, when's it going to be? I don't need it. When's it going to be? How many more do I have? When's it going to be? Like, this feels pretty okay, but it's not enough.
Maybe I should just take all of them.
I wonder if I should hold on to my dose and wait, like save them up.
Double up next time.
So other than overthinking it, did you struggle? And maybe the overthinking is the struggle. I don't fully understand it. So, but was that really?
I think the overthinking is the struggle.
Okay.
Just the feeling of just the constant, like, should I flip the house? Like, are they in here? Did she take the pills with her to work? What if I did just what if I hunted down the bottle, and just took the bottle and just enjoyed that and then suffered the repercussions? Or what if I know there's 2 doses in here, like I'm hunting Easter eggs, so I got to text her to find out where they are. Do I want to go looking for them or should I not? Why would I go looking for them? Why, even if I find them, it's still not going to be enough to do what I want them to do. Like, the dose that I'm taking versus what I would like to take it's insignificant. So why can't I quit thinking about this? So stop thinking about it. I'm done thinking about it. I'm still thinking about it. And I even told Amanda on the second day, I was like, just flush them. I'm tired of thinking about them. And then, like, 4 hours later, I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah, you got to stay ahead
I'm
of the
glad
pain.
you didn't flush those things.
Yeah, I was like, okay. And I wasn't going to flush them because I knew he needed them. And then 4 hours, he's like, oh, did you flush those? I was like, no, I didn't flush them.
But I was on the 6-hour protocol. Like, who wastes the whole, 4 to 6 hours? I wait.
The pharmacist does.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm fortunate in that regard.
Well, it was funny when we first got him. He's like, so can I just have half the bottle now and then half the bottle later? I was like, no.
So, do you have to do PT? Have you already started PT?
I go to the doctor on Thursday, and I think that's when they'll start the PT.
Have you ever done any kind of PT before?
I have a little bit when I had my other knee operated on, long time ago. I think that was it. I mean, I've broken a lot of bones, but I don't remember going to PT for it. None as a responsible person,
As an adult, yeah.
as a grown person. But it's been really a lot. It's lingered. The pain has lingered. The discomfort has lingered for a lot longer than I anticipated. But I don't know where I really I don't know where I got that from.
Where the expectation came from, yeah.
And then I took the bandages off, and he cut me open pretty good. I mean, there's a 3-inch incision, so I can kind of see where it should be like that. And the last day, today I drove and was constantly working my leg, and I feel better than I have so far.
Active recovery.
And I was supposed to keep my brace on 50 degrees. and between 30 and 50. So I'm sitting at my desk and I'm like, I'm going to recover faster. So I'm going to set it on 70 and I'm going to lean into this leg throughout the day. And then I thought, man, I have like torn my leg. I've lost the use of it. So that was a dumb decision. I think that set me back.
Are you supposed to be driving?
No.
Oh.
They didn't really make it clear. I was asleep when they did the surgery.
They made it clear. When you were sitting in the car. You want to talk about your first set experience?
Oh, yeah. I had a nerve block done. So they come in, they said, we're going to give you a little bit of Dilaudid. And I'm like, woo. And we're going to give you some propofol. So
isn't that what they give pregnant ladies who are giving birth?
Oxytocin.
What is it?
No, it's oxytocin.
Huh. Why?
That's what Michael Jackson took.
Pitocin is brand name.
Okay.
Oxytocin.
That's what Michael Jackson took to sleep every night.
Yeah,
Okay.
propofol is what they put you to sleep with.
I got you.
And so I'm like, okay, that's good. And I remember them, I kind of remember being like, all right, this is pretty cool. You know, I had my dose of whatever. And then the lady came back in and she's like, have they already given you your medicine for your nerve block?
Nope.
Nope. But I'm in it. I was like, no, not like drug seeking. I was just like, no. And so then the doctor comes back in and he's like, do you remember me being in here a few minutes ago? I said, no. And he's like, your nerve block's done. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I was just in here 5 minutes ago. He's like, this guy's a lightweight. And I wanted to be like, no, I'm not.
You don't know me.
So, I mean, just like that, man, the whole process, going to a surgery nowadays, like going to a Campbell clinic where it's made just for like a surgical place. I mean, it's like going to a car wash. I mean, they pull you in, cut you open, get you out.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
That's how same-day surgery is.
Wow.
It's amazing what they consider same-day surgery nowadays.
Right.
I mean, and I know I've told the story before, but like Carol had full hip replacement. You know, we were there at 6 a.m. Surgery's done by 8:30. They had her walking to and from the bathroom, assisted, but still walking to and from the bathroom by like 3 o'clock that day, home by 5.
No kidding.
Full hip replacement.
Wow. What would that have looked like 20 years ago? What kind of recovery would
You'd
that
have been in the hospital for a week, probably.
A week, yeah, at least.
No kidding.
You'd had to go through PT at the hospital, because I'm probably 20 years ago really didn't have probably outpatient PT, or you'd have to come back to the hospital. I don't know.
What kind of cut do they do to get a hip in?
Well, so that was the other thing. So normally, I'm trying to remember. I think what they used to do is they used to go through the back of the leg, and now they're going through the front of the leg, and so that actually improved her recovery time. Not immediately after the surgery, but like weeks faster. Because the other thing is there was something about, like, they went through this whole thing about her, how she was allowed to get in and out of a car. Like if she had the other type of surgery, whichever one she didn't have, if she had like just moved her leg to the side, it could have popped out.
Dislocated, which still happens today.
Right.
When they move the wrong
But
way.
but because she had the surgery the way she did, that was less likely. But she still had to like keep her knees together as she turned and then put her feet down on the ground and then stand up. She couldn't, spread her legs apart and get up like one leg at a time like you or I would normally. So, but anyways.
How long did she have to deal with all that? I mean, are you saying that continued? Like she had to, even after the replacement, that was something that she lived with?
No, it was because of the replacement. She had to do that for like 2 to 3 weeks while everything was
2 to 3
healing.
weeks, but not something that she had to
lifetime,
do.
No,
Okay.
Permanently.
no.
How long after her surgery till she was 100%?
Well, not to get too sad about it, but it was on her final PT appointment that she found out she had breast cancer. So I would say she never got to 100%.
Yeah.
As a result.
Okay.
Like she literally had to leave her final PT appointment because she got the call from the doctor and was so upset that she couldn't stay there.
Wow.
So
That's what that happened to my father-in-law. He was at the hospital for a heart surgery. He had a heart attack or something like that, and they opened him up and did surgery on his heart. And then after they were done with that, they were like, "Oh man, you got leukemia or whatever it was," you know. So.
That's sad. My brother's best friend that he's had since he was in literally like probably kindergarten, first grade. You know, I grew up with this guy. I don't remember a time when he wasn't in Ted's life, you know, or my life on some level. But he's had
Cystic
fibrosis, which the lifespan on that is not high anyway. I mean, it was like teenager would have been probably his life expectancy, and he's now, you know, 45,
Oh, wow.
47, and has had a lung transplant. I think one, he might have had two.
That's wild that they can do that.
Yeah. Well, now he's at the end of his days. I mean, he's for sure, and he's been ill to the effect that he's not on the transplant. They have to take him off the transplant list, and so my brother's been spending a lot of time over there, but one of the things that he said was that he just feels so fortunate that he knows he doesn't have to go back to another hospital. And I think that probably Carol had that on some level, that just all the time there's the constant, like, what if, or am I overreacting, or is this phone call going to send me there? Or
I got to tell you, like, she had zero fucks to give when she walked into a doctor's office. Like, her cancer doctor, the chemo clinic that she went to, they knew that if they were running more than an hour behind, they needed to call her so that she didn't show up on time. Because if she got there and they were like, "Oh, it's going to be 2 hours before we can get you a seat," she'd be like, "You got to be fucking kidding me." And she would cuss people out.
Well, she was pretty much like that on all levels.
Well,
of her life,
yeah,
wasn't
but
she?
I mean, especially, like, she got them trained pretty quickly, and so, you know, and it was never, she was in generally a good place about it, but she just had zero bullshit tolerance. You know, it's like, originally we were at a different clinic for her cancer treatment, and she would go into the, what do they call it, where they do the blood draws? What's that little area of the clinic called?
Just a lab?
Well, they had a name for it,
Okay.
and I want to call it like Hema something lab, or, you know, something blood related. Anyways, one of the times she went in there were nursing students in there that were drawing blood, and they were unsupervised. And because Carol had lymph nodes removed on the left side, she couldn't have blood drawn on the left side. She could only have blood drawn on the right side. And so she's like, "You have to draw blood over here." "Well, no, we're going to draw from over here." "No, you're not." "Well, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to draw from the left side." "No, you're going to draw from the right side." So she goes back and forth. And then, so there's that kind of interaction. And then there's the ones where you get a nurse, or whoever, doesn't have to be a nurse. It says, "I'm really good at hitting the vein, you know, and so this is going to be really quick." And after the 7th or 8th time of them digging around trying to find the vein, she will yell at them and be like, "You're going to fucking stop now." Just stop. So, anyways, she had a personality when she went to the doctor.
She had a big personality. What did she say in the office? "I have a big personality, and he has a big personality." We're at an hour. What do y'all have?
I got an Oscar cameo for Mother's Day from The Office.
That's pretty cool.
It was really cool.
That was cool. That was fun.
How does that work? Explain that to me. I'm sorry.
So you can go online somewhere, I guess cameo.com or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been there. And you can hire a celebrity to do like a 3-minute personalized talk to whoever. So Oscar from The Office. It's like, "Hey, Amanda, this is Oscar from The Office, and Wilson and Andy and Grayson,
That's amazing.
you know, and myself want to wish you a happy Mother's Day."
Yeah, that's a good idea. Cameo dot. You just have to go Google it. I can't remember the URL. Either.
Gary Busey will do you one. Mike Tyson will do you one.
There's a lot of different ones.
Ric Flair's on there now.
It's like, you know, some of them were like $50 to $100 or something like that.
Yeah.
Well,
It's amazing what a famous figure like that saying your name, the power of that is just like, ugh, that felt good or something.
Yeah.
Felt something. I didn't know what to. I'm stuck with my knee surgery. I can't get out to like get Amanda anything. And Andy is the best at just like, she's just a very thoughtful little girl. So she comes up with good ideas. And so she came up with that. But I needed something where I couldn't get out of the house to actually, I originally went to Fiverr. You ever been to Fiverr?
Yeah.
And had a Mother's Day message recorded by a guy who imitated Professor Snipe. And it was so cringeworthy that I didn't give it to you.
That's
I was
pretty
listening
funny.
to it. I was like, this is great.
So it wasn't worth the $5 you spent on it?
Well, that's what it was. I think I paid an extra $5 for same day delivery. But, I couldn't do anything. I found during this quarantine, I wore the same pajamas like every day. I found a cocoon on my pajamas.
And he was still going to put them on and be like, I'll just put them in the dirty clothes after today. And I was like, absolutely not. We're going to wash these right now.
Did the little butterfly eventually hatch? and
We
fly
washed the
away?
butterfly, so I don't
guess
know.
Amanda killed him. I was going to let him go. But like Alan said, I had become like my own ecosystem. Like things were, I was.
Well, now we're coming out of the dark.
Yep. But I don't know. I'm still going back to my PJs as often as possible. All right. Lift heavy, run long. Number
184?
184, man. It's in the books.
It's in the books.
Boom.